Your own anecdotes. These anecdotes highlight pivotal moments and lessons from your journey, showcasing your growth and the values guiding your transformation. Reflecting on these stories can deepen your understanding of yourself and inspire continued growth. 1. The match that changed everything. Theme, balance, and flow. This story of finding rhythm and focus during a challenging tennis match exemplifies the power of presence and adaptability. It symbolizes how embracing the process rather than fixating on outcomes leads to growth. Reflection questions. How can I apply the principles of balance and flow in my daily life? What activities bring me a similar sense of focus and peace? 2. Breaking free from PTSD. Theme, resilience and self-awareness. Overcoming the challenges of PTSD required immense courage and a commitment to small, intentional steps. This anecdote illustrates the power of acknowledging struggles and seeking healing through mindfulness and connection. Reflection questions. What practices help me stay grounded and resilient? How can I use my story to inspire and support others facing similar challenges? Love for holistic tennis. Theme, discipline and growth. Tennis became a metaphor for self-leadership, teaching you the importance of effort, adaptability, and intentional practice. This story reminds you of the value of consistent effort in achieving balance and excellence. Reflection questions. How can I incorporate the discipline of tennis into other areas of my life? What lessons from tennis resonate most with my leadership journey? The client who saw me. Theme, connection and authenticity. A simple question from a client, "Are you okay?" sparked a moment of introspection and change. This anecdote highlights the impact of empathy and authentic relationships in fostering growth. Reflection questions. How can I practice vulnerability to strengthen my connections with others? How has empathy shaped my relationships and leadership style? Mentoring a younger colleague. Theme, empowerment and collaboration. Guiding and empowering a colleague demonstrated your capacity for leadership. By sharing your experiences and encouraging others, you modeled a holistic and service-oriented approach to leadership. Reflection questions. How can I continue empowering others in meaningful ways? What role does mentorship play in my vision of leadership? Important anecdotes to work on for self-actualization. Here are suggested areas to explore and develop new anecdotes, reflecting untapped opportunities for growth. 1. A moment of true freedom. Theme, liberation from fear. Identify a time when you overcame a deeply ingrained fear or limitation, allowing you to live more authentically. Craft a story around this moment to anchor your commitment to personal freedom. Action steps. Reflect on situations where you chose courage over fear. Write about the emotions and lessons from that experience. A relationship that transformed you. Theme, the power of connection. Focus on a relationship, personal or professional, that significantly shaped your values or perspective. Explore how this connection influenced your journey and leadership philosophy. Action steps. Recall key moments or conversations in this relationship. Consider how this person's influence has guided your decisions. 3. A defining leadership challenge. Theme, growth through adversity. Think of a time when you faced a leadership challenge that pushed you out of your comfort zone. Develop a narrative around how you navigated this situation and the lessons you learned. Action steps. Identify the skills or qualities you relied on to overcome the challenge. Reflect on how this experience changed your approach to leadership. 4. A breakthrough in education or learning. Theme, lifelong learning. Write about a moment when education transformed your perspective or abilities. Whether through formal education or self-directed learning, highlight how this breakthrough contributed to your growth. Action steps. Detail the subject or skill you are learning. Reflect on how this knowledge impacted your personal or professional life. 5. A time you modeled empathy. Theme, leading with love. Explore an experience where you practiced empathy in a difficult situation. This story can illustrate the importance of understanding and supporting others in your leadership journey. Action steps. Reflect on the emotions involved for both you and the other person. Consider how this act of empathy strengthened your connection or leadership role. Next steps. 1. Reflect and write. Take time to reflect on these anecdotes, journaling about your thoughts, emotions, and lessons. 2. Refine your stories. Craft these moments into well-structured narratives that highlight your values and growth. 3. Share and apply. Share these stories with trusted friends, mentors, or in professional settings to inspire others and solidify your leadership voice. Would you like help expanding any of these anecdotes into complete stories or integrating them into a specific framework? An anecdote is a short personal story or account of a specific incident or event, often shared to illustrate a point, convey a lesson, or entertain. Anecdotes are typically drawn from real-life experiences and are used to make ideas relatable and memorable. Key characteristics of anecdotes. 1. Personal and specific. They focus on a particular moment, event, or interaction that had significance to the person telling it. 2. Engaging. Anecdotes are usually shared to grab attention, provoke thought, or evoke emotions. 3. Illustrative. They often serve as examples to highlight a broader theme, idea, or moral. 4. Relatable. A good anecdote resonates with the audience, helping them connect with the storyteller's perspective. Examples of when anecdotes are used. In conversations, to make a point or lighten the mood. In leadership, to inspire or connect with a team by sharing a personal experience. In writing or speeches, to introduce a topic, illustrate a lesson, or add a personal touch to content. In education, to make abstract concepts more relatable and easier to understand. Why are anecdotes important? 1. Human connection. They make the speaker or writer more relatable and engaging. 2. Memorability. Stories stick in people's minds more than abstract facts or ideas. 3. Emotional impact. They evoke feelings that help reinforce the message being conveyed. Would you like help crafting a specific anecdote or learning how to use them effectively in your writing or conversations? Crafting and using anecdotes effectively. Here's a guide to help you create impactful anecdotes and use them effectively to inspire, connect, and convey your message. Step 1. Identify your purpose. Ask yourself, why am I sharing this story? Examples: to inspire, teach a lesson, build trust, or entertain. What is the main takeaway I want to convey? Examples: the importance of resilience, the power of empathy, or the value of hard work. Step 2, choose the right moment. Select a specific event or moment from your life that aligns with your purpose. It could be a time you overcame a challenge, a moment of insight or realization, an interaction that deeply impacted you or others. Example: purpose, to inspire resilience. Event, the time you rediscovered your love for tennis during a difficult period in your life. Step 3, structure your anecdote. A good anecdote has a clear beginning, middle, and end. 1. Beginning. Set the scene. Where were you? What was happening? Who was involved? Example, it was a blistering summer afternoon, and I was on the tennis court, feeling defeated after a week of personal setbacks. 2. Middle, highlight the conflict or turning point. What was the challenge or lesson? Example, as I hit another missed shot, frustration took over, but something shifted. I paused, took a deep breath, and decided to focus on the rhythm of the game rather than the score. 3. End, share the resolution or takeaway. How did the moment impact you? What did you learn? Example, that day, I realized that life, like tennis, isn't about perfection. It's about presence, balance, and adapting to the moment. Step 4, keep it relatable. Even if your experience is unique, focus on universal emotions or themes that your audience can connect with. Example, everyone understands feelings of frustration and the joy of rediscovery, even if they've never played tennis. Step 5, practice storytelling techniques. Be descriptive. Use sensory details to paint a vivid picture. Example, the sun blazed overhead and sweat trickled down my back as I gripped the racket tightly. Use dialogue, if applicable. It adds authenticity and engages the listener. Example, I told myself, just focus on the rhythm. Let go of everything else. Keep it brief. Focus on the essential details to keep your audience engaged. Step 6, relate it to your audience. After sharing the anecdote, connect it to the broader theme or lesson. Example, this moment taught me a valuable lesson about resilience and focus, skills that have shaped not only my tennis game, but also how I approach challenges in life and leadership. Example anecdote, crafting resilience through tennis. Beginning, it was one of those days when nothing seemed to go right. I had just wrapped up a tough week juggling work stress and personal struggles. Hoping to clear my mind, I decided to head to the tennis court, a place I used to love but hadn't visited in months. Middle, as I played, every missed shot felt like confirmation of my failures. Frustration boiled over, and I almost walked off the court. But then I remembered what I loved about tennis, the rhythm, the flow. I paused, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. This wasn't about winning. It was about showing up. And that simple shift in mindset transformed the game. I felt my movements relax, my focus sharpen. That day, I didn't just rediscover my love for tennis. I learned the power of resilience and the importance of staying present, even in difficult moments. Lesson for the audience. This experience reminded me that challenges in life, like on the court, are opportunities to find balance and adapt. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Using anecdotes in your context. Here's how to tailor anecdotes for different purposes. 1. In leadership. Share a story about overcoming a challenge to inspire your team. 2. In writing. Begin an article or book chapter with an anecdote to draw readers in. 3. In presentations. Use a personal story to make abstract concepts relatable and memorable. 4. In conversations. Share an anecdote to build rapport and connect on a deeper level. Would you like help crafting a specific anecdote from your life or guidance on integrating it into a particular context?